Okay, let's do this. Hello. So I was planning after leaving for 6 months to come back with like a really nice video explaining why I've been gone for so long and all that, and I already planned it out. It was gonna be super creative. But sometimes President Trump passes a ridiculous executive order and ruins your plans. So we're just gonna work around that. No, but in all honesty, what's been going on in the US is so ridiculous. So I wanted to make a video pertaining to that and to kind of contribute in some way. And I saw that Subhi Taha, a fellow Muslim YouTuber on here, made an immigrant tag, and I thought that was a great idea. So I watched his video, wrote down all his little questions, and decided to film my own video. So let's get started. So as you might have guessed, I am an immigrant. I actually immigrated with my family, so I'm not from an immigrant family. I myself am an immigrant myself, and I'll explain more in the questions. So number one, where are you? I'm keep big into this. I'm sorry if it's like really big and taking up most of the frame, but it's honestly huge, and I actually like it in the frame. It's really pretty, but like it's really big. Anyways, number one, where are you originally from and where do you live now? So I'm originally from Damascus, Syria. Yeah, represent it. And I currently reside in Texas with my family. So actually only me and my immediate family live in the US. All the rest of my family is overseas, whether it's in Syria, UAE, Saudi Arabia. But yeah, when me and my family immigrated, it was just us. So number two, how long ago did your family migrate? So I came to the US when I was about 4 years old. So that's 18 years ago. Yeah. And we went back and visited several times, but obviously we haven't been able to visit in a long time due to all the crap that's happening there, sadly. Yeah. Number three, where, oh, okay. Number three, where did they migrate from? From Syria. So even though I was born in Syria, and we did live in Syria, but we also lived in Abu Dhabi in UAE and Saudi Arabia, and then we moved back to Syria, and then we moved here, all within 4 years of my baby life. I'm well traveled, people. Number four, why did they migrate? We didn't migrate due to like the reasons like refugees migrate, so there wasn't any like violence or war or anything. We actually just migrated for a better life, like, you know, what America is like advertised as, like, come here and have a better life, whatever. So my dad, he studied medicine in Damascus, and then he like practiced in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, but he wanted something better and that provided more money, and so he applied here. And he actually got accepted, and so he brought the whole family with him. And like, alhamdulillah, if we hadn't come here, so many things would be different. Like, in all honesty, if we had stayed in Syria, like, we are obviously much better financially here than there. If we had stayed there, we probably like would have died or something. Like, we're here and we're able to support my family that's there financially to leave and be safe. But if we were stuck there, like, us and our family would be stuck, and we wouldn't really have anyone from the outside to help us because no one really left except my dad. And because my dad left, he's able to help them. So like, everything happens for a reason. Like, we were able to pretty much save my whole dad's side of the family because they used to live in a village that's now like completely taken over by the government, like the government army. And honestly, like, it's crazy. Just immigrant stories, like, do people not realize how many lives are saved and have gotten better just because they're able to come here? Like, why do y'all want to hog this place? Like, it's a piece of land. Like, it's not even yours. It was the Native Americans, and then white people stole it, and like, people are coming. Like, no one can claim it but the Native Americans. Like, if they want us out, I can understand that. Like, we'll leave. And honestly, they didn't want us. Like, people just came, took over. But this is just a huge mess. I can't. Okay, totally sidetracked. But number 5. Were there any effects with being a family of immigrants? So I was really oblivious as a child because I didn't actually know English. I learned it when I went into school. So my first and native language is Arabic. And so because even when I learned English, it was still weak. So I was kind of like an oblivious child. So if people like were discriminatory towards me or mean, like I wouldn't have picked up on it, but I don't think they were. I mostly grew up in El Paso, Texas, which is a border city in Texas. And it's very ethnic. Like there was a lot of Mexican people because it's like right by the border, and a lot of my friends were Mexican, and you know, I was just in an environment that's racially diverse, so no one really called me out on it or anything. Also, as a little kid, I looked like a white kid. Like, yeah, they wouldn't have picked on me anyways. They would never have known. Like, you know, colored eyes, like light hair, they wouldn't have known. But also when I went to middle school in El Paso, like no one in my friend group was actually white. There was me, like the Syrian Arab girl, then there was like a Palestinian Arab girl, there was a Mexican Japanese girl, there was a Nigerian girl, there was a Malaysian girl, I believe. There was a Romanian girl. Well, she probably counts as like the Caucasian, but like not really, still like not like American, you know what I mean? Like even people from Europe, from like places that they don't speak English predominantly in, they still actually receive backlash from actual white people. So like none of us were actually like American Caucasian, if that makes sense. So yeah, like my whole life I just had ethnic friends. I barely ever had any white friends. Moving on, I keep getting sidetracked. Number 6. Have you experienced any discrimination? Yes. Sadly, yes I have, many times. Obviously it started when I started wearing the scarf, because now you can tell, like, hey, look, this is an ethnic, I don't know if they think I'm ethnic, but I'm Muslim. A lot of people don't like having a Muslim person in their face, so they'll go out of their way to make them feel bad about themselves and like they don't belong. I've had occasions where people have cussed me out like non-stop from their cars, but I obviously had like people flicking me off. On 2 occasions I had random strangers videotape me, as if there's like some website that racists go to and like post videos of like the Islamists they come across. Like, why would you videotape someone you don't like? What are you gonna do with that footage? Like, I don't understand. Put it on the news, like, alert, there are Muslims in the country, be aware. Like, yeah, everyone knows that. I don't know, I don't understand these people. But a lot of these occasions, like, they really did shake me up, and it's not something that people should experience at all. But sadly, like, almost every other hijabi I know has gone through something like this. But nowadays, with like the whole rise of this Islamophobia crap, so many supporters have finally come into the light and shown us their support, and it's honestly the most like amazing thing I've ever felt. Because when I come across someone like a stranger, I just automatically assume that they don't like me, because there's just so many of that around that it's the first thing that comes to my mind. And that's kind of how I'm always like cautious around strangers, don't want to make them uncomfortable, don't want to like, you know, have like trigger them. But it's so amazing to now know that among those many strangers I've come across, a lot of them were actually supporters, and they support me being here, and they support my existence and my people, and I'm just so thankful for that. Obviously I'm not thankful for what like caused all of that, freaking president, but you know, good comes out of evil. Okay, so last question. Which stereotypes have you been approached with? Okay. So I don't remember like all the stereotypes I've been approached with, but I do remember the most recent one, which happened I think last semester, and it happened with this guy who I knew from one of my classes. And honestly, he was one of those guys where like you get a bad vibe from them and you kind of just want them to stay away, but obviously that's not what they do. They don't stay away. So he would always like kind of try to come up to me and like talk to me and all that, and I would, try and get out of the situations. I'd be polite, talk back, but as soon as, like, class ends, I'm out. And so, our class finished, and I didn't see him for a while, and I thought, I wouldn't see him for a while, but he came up to me one day when he saw me on campus, and, started talking, and he looked down at my hand, and he noticed that in the time that we hadn't, seen each other, I'd gotten engaged. So what does this guy say? He's like, oh, was that an arranged marriage? Yeah. Yeah, it was arranged marriage. Thanks. No, but straight up, I was like, boy, don't be stereotypical. Like, are you for real right now? I straight up, told him in his face. And, he was like, oh, sorry, I'm not aware of, your culture or whatever. If you're not aware, if you're not, fully understanding of someone's culture, don't make any assumptions. That's how it works. I'm I didn't arrange my marriage, or I didn't get my marriage arranged. I met the guy, we liked each other, we fell in love, we got engaged. It happens, believe it or not. But yeah, this guy was just stereotypical straight up in my face, and, called him out on it. Hopefully he doesn't do it again to other people. But, I mean, it's good that it wasn't, a hostile situation. It was, just ignorantly said. But yeah, those were actually all the questions. Hopefully you learn more about me and my immigrantness. And I like doing videos like these because, it's good to talk about who you are and where you came from. I know it's not just tags and nice things, and I don't know. I feel like we should be more real here on YouTube. And also, my channel isn't going to be all political and stuff, but I do want to make videos like these where I address certain issues and, talk about what's on my mind, because I don't want to kind of make it seem like I'm oblivious to all this, and if you can just avoid talking about it, then it's not happening, because that's not the case, especially for the people that it's happening to. So, want to be more aware, try and make other people more aware. But yeah, most likely my next video will be the total opposite of this, and it will be something nice and pleasing to look at and fun, hopefully. I'm trying to get back on a schedule to post once every 2 weeks, and if I can do once every week, that'd be great. But for now, I'm just gonna set myself a much easier goal to attain, even though that's probably hard for me. Anyways, okay, so hopefully I'll see you in my next video, inshallah. Take care, be safe, be strong, go out there and protest, protect your rights, protect the rights of others, be active, and be safe. I don't know if I already said that. Okay, bye.